Hi, my name is Lauren and this is my Draw My Life video. I know I'm a bit late to jump on the bandwagon for this type of video, but I just wanted to share with you a little bit of my story, so here goes. I was born in Australia, and that is a horrible map of Australia, but you get the idea, and I was raised in Melbourne, Victoria. I was born a baby, like most people, and my mum and dad actually had previous marriages before they met, where they had 2 kids each. My mum had my sister and my brother, and my dad had my 2 sisters. One had an extremely long neck, it appears. And when they met and had me, we all became this kind of big family unit. We did a lot of things together as a family. Camping was a big thing for us, and we used to spend all the major holidays together, like Christmas. I do remember a lot of road trips with all 5 of us cramming into the back seat of the car, all smushed in together, hating every single minute of it, and constantly asking my parents, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" We must have been so very annoying. I was extremely close to both my mum and my dad though, and we did a lot of things just the 3 of us. I remember a childhood of music and tennis. That's supposed to be a tennis racket. And we even actually went to Europe and London together, which was amazing. I was a very, very lucky kid, and I'm still very lucky to have them both. I love them a lot. I was a pretty outgoing kid, so when I got to primary school I made friends pretty easily, and I actually really enjoyed school. But unfortunately a couple of my friends had to either move away or move schools, so I had to say a lot of goodbyes to my closest friends, and that was hard. So I sort of started to lose a bit of that confidence that I had and became more shy and reserved and a bit more quiet. In one year I had this teacher who I hated. She would often compare me to my sister and how great she was at everything, which of course I hated. So one year I decided it was enough and I was going to run away from school all the way home. I remember thinking that it was the best idea ever and it was going to work out beautifully. Unfortunately, it didn't. When I got home, nobody was there and I had to actually walk all the way back to school crying my eyes out, and the principal ended up picking me up in the car and taking me back to school. That was pretty much one of the most embarrassing days of my life. In grade 6, I met my best friend and we bonded instantly over Disney movies and funny stories. But she was a year below me, so when I went to high school I had to go alone and leave her for a whole year. That sucked a lot. Year 7 was not a good experience for me. I was still fairly shy and reserved, and I tried really hard to make friends, but high school kids can be mean and I found it hard to really find my place, so I didn't really ever have one. When my best friend got to school the next year I was so excited. I finally had someone to hang out with and we were reunited. But again, kids can be pretty mean and we got teased a lot. Specifically me, because it was just really uncool to be friends with a year 7er. The rest of high school had its ups and downs, the ups being that I actually found my love for theatre. I absolutely loved being on stage and being in all the musicals in school. And I figured out my love for photography as well. We even got to go to the Northern Territory with school, which was awesome. But the downs were that I felt excluded for the majority of the time, and this caused me to crawl even further into my shell, no pun intended there, and I became much more quiet and much more reserved. After high school I went straight into a uni course, majoring in drama and photography, but after a year with that I realised it wasn't for me and I dropped out. I don't regret it though. A couple of years later I was cruising around MySpace, for those of you that remember that, and I found that this guy had added me and started to talk to me. We then talked on MSN for a couple of months after that, constantly chatting and keeping each other entertained during work hours when we should have been working. And one day he asked if I wanted to meet up, and I said, sure. So we met and we fell in love and this is how I met my now fiance, Ray, and we've been in love ever since. So at this point I had everything going for me. I was in love, we had moved in together, we had our own little sort of pet family going, but something just felt a little bit off. For some reason I just felt sad. I started to lose touch with a lot of my friends, and unfortunately this also included my best friend of all those years. We did lose touch and eventually had a falling out. This made me really sad and I eventually fell into a deep depression. That depression was the hardest thing ever. I constantly kept asking myself, why can't I just get better? Things were hopeless and wrong, and I just wanted to crawl into a cave somewhere and be alone because I was firmly of the belief that everyone would just be way better off without me. It took a long time and it didn't happen overnight, but eventually I did start to see a light at the end of the tunnel. I then started to upload videos on YouTube, which was fantastic. I could start to focus on things that were exciting and new, and it really helped me. The one thing I would say to people that are struggling with this is to get help. Do not suffer in silence. You do not have to go through this alone. It's a horrible disease and it doesn't deserve the stigma and ridicule that comes along with it. You can do it. I believe in you and you are amazing in every single way. You will get through this. Going through all of this has made me the person that I am today, and although I'm not 100% there yet, I am well on my way to becoming a stronger, healthier, happier me. This past couple of months I've tried to turn my life around. I've left my job and as of February I'm going back to university, which I'm beyond excited about. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time now. 2014 is going to be one massive year. There is so much happening and I am excited for all of it, and I'm excited to share some of it with you as we go along the way. So that was a snapshot of my life. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you all so much for watching. You're all amazing and you all mean a lot to me. Stay tuned and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!